Hey, this is Jason Wasser coming from my office in Hollywood, Florida at the Family Room Wellness Associates. My question for you today is who would you be without your work identity? For many people, when we're out and about and we're talking to others socially or we're at networking events, a lot of times we introduce and we define ourselves by what we do. So I'm really curious if you did not have the job that you presently have, or you're not working in the field that you're presently working in, how would you personally define yourself? Right? For me, I'm a therapist. I do a lot of alternative medicine using specifically neuro emotional technique. I do a lot of public speaking and workshops. But if I wasn't doing those on a consistent basis, how would I define my identity? And would it only still be around what I do in the outside world? So, my question for you is when you're out and about, what do you and how do you introduce yourself to others? Do you specifically define yourself as your job, as your vocation, as the company that you identify with? How much hype do you give that versus the vulnerability of talking more about your hobbies or about what book you last read or where you're planning to go on your next vacation? My other question for you is what fulfills you outside of the job that you do? Do you have things in your life that are really important to you and that really work can actually get in the way of accomplishing and achieving all of those things? So, for example, if you really are into a healthy lifestyle, do you have enough time and are you making enough time in your life to prepare the foods you want to prepare, to work out, to go for a run, to travel to exciting locations and new locations where you can experience being outdoors more? If you're into any type of crafts or any other types of activities, what are you doing to enhance your knowledge? Are you reading books? Are you watching YouTube videos? Are you going to conferences, meetups about those different things? So, what are you doing that fills you when you're not working? And my last question for you is if you're really lucky, and there's some of us out there that have decided that they're able to merge these two worlds together, or at least make part of their day to day job, part of their hobby and their excitement and the things that they love to do, is is your work actually your hobby? And is your hobby actually your work? Have you found a way to merge the two, right? So going back again to the example of someone who's really into health and wellness, perhaps they're working specifically in that industry during the day so that they can weave their personal passions into how they want to help engage the world, how they want to bring their purpose into the world. Or are you actually doing two separate things? Is the job that you're doing completely disconnected from your passions and your purpose? If so, are you finding that you get burnt out? Are you finding that you're not as motivated as you were when you first started the job? Perhaps you needed that job just to make an income, to bring a certain amount of money to yourself, to your family, to live in a certain place that you wanted to live, or you wanted to change fields from where you were before into something else, but really weren't so clear on how to and what to get out of it. So really, how do you find what your passion and purpose is and meld it into what you're doing on a day-to-day basis? So here in my practice, over the years, I started realizing how much I am passionate about alternative medicine, integrative nutrition, and wellness overall, and weaving in some neurology. All of these things I had no clue either A, existed, or B, knew anything about, or C, thought I was smart enough to actually tackle and understand, and even more so to help other people with that. So over the last 5 to 10 years, I've been going further and further down this path of integrative wellness, of using neuro-emotional technique to help my clients, to help them figure out what is the unresolved emotional stress pattern that is keeping them away from their goals, from feeling completely healthy, from their anxiety and their depression that's holding them back from reaching everything they can do. So even though I was trained as a clinical therapist in marriage and family therapy, my personal life, where I started getting more and more curious about these areas, started working its way into my practice, and now the niche of my practice is integrative and natural wellness for mental health, well-being, for coaching both personally and professionally. So those are my questions for you today. I'm really curious to hear what your thoughts are on how do you define yourself? How do you introduce yourself if you don't include your identity as what you do as your profession or where you work as your profession? What fulfills you outside of your day-to-day job? What makes you happy? What keeps you motivated? What are your passions? What are your projects that you're working on? And are you able to bring some of those hobbies, some of those passions, some of those things that you feel is part of your purpose in being in this world into your day-to-day job? And I'd love to hear your feedback on that. I'd love to hear any challenges that you have. I'd be more than happy to jump in, give you some ideas of how you can do more, how you can increase your mindset about wanting and merging those things to make your life more fulfilled, to bring you more health, to bring you more hope, to bring you more happiness, both to you, to your family, and to your friends. If you have any questions, you can drop us a message at Instagram, Jason Wasser, LMFT, and you can always visit us at our website, which is www.thefamilyroomsfl.com or www.emotionalallergies.com. Talk to you soon.